I'm here. Here
There we go.
we go, Xavier.
Hi, mate. How are you?
Not too bad. You look like you're in the middle of midnight, which it probably is.
Oh, actually, the
What?
sun just went down here.
Ah. Well, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
you're welcome.
And yeah, soon to be welcoming you back to our sunny shores.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. It's been a while.
It has. It has. I think somewhere around 8 or 10 years.
Incredible. And a lot has happened in that time. A lot of water under the bridge, as they say.
Yeah,
But
heaps.
yeah, no, I mean, new record label, new life, new wife, new pretty much everything, right?
That's it. Yeah.
And clearly all good. You're in a good space.
Yeah. I'm in a good space, man. Absolutely. Yeah, I feel very blessed. I got five boys that are very healthy and thriving, and yeah, beautiful wife and couple of rat bag dogs, and yeah, a good life. I'm very grateful for the life that I have.
And all of those are fertile spaces for inspiration when it comes to doing what you do for money, which is entertain the world with your music. But I was wondering because obviously it's been what 22, 24 years in professionally, I suppose, but I think for most people it's 20 odd years. um would you agree with the fact that your music gives you the ability to affect change? And I suppose what I mean by change is not just pure entertainment value, but being able to push the needle in ways that perhaps another occupation wouldn't allow.
Um, yeah, look, I guess so. Um, it's you know, people say that, and people when people come to me and say that they've used my music in very special times in their journey, like burying a child, or getting married, or giving birth, or special times when um in people's lives, whether they're hard times or great times, where my music is used, then I feel like that is the biggest compliment that I can receive. And I feel honored, and I feel grateful. And people sort of in those kind of moments will say things like, "Oh, you got me through this," or whatever. It's hard for me to accept that. I think obviously people do their own work, and I just feel happy that I can be there. It's in some element for people. And that said, on a broader note, um, my music can be used, or awareness can be spread for in different ways, uh, for change, for a better world, which is various different things that people are working on. So look, I feel honored that my music can sometimes be part of that space, and but I wouldn't say that I can change anything. I think that's a big call. I think I just do what I
Mm,
do, and I feel grateful where it can, where what I do can shine any kind of light. Um,
mm,
because life's tough. It's not easy
mm.
for people.
Yeah,
And
I suppose it's the authenticity that that your music brings that I think endears you to people. Besides, obviously, the melody, the music, the structure of it, because there are multiple layers, uh, personal ones to you, interpreted by fans. I mean, I think that's the joy of music. We're all listening to the same song, but how we interpret it, how it affects us, is completely unique to each and every one of us. And I think that's the power of great songwriting and great music.
yeah, and we all come from struggle. All of our ancestors, no matter where we come from, yeah, all over this planet, our people got knocked off the tracks at some point,
Yeah.
and we all take that with us, and we're all healing from different stuff. Life's not easy, and it hasn't been easy for me a lot of times.
Mm.
And we walk around with a sense of pride, and you know and we try and be what we can be, but we all have our battles. And I think my music is, it's always been an honest forum.
Yeah.
It's not, there's no bullshit. It's kind of, whether it's touching on something to do with me or touching on something to do with someone else. It's honest and it's direct, and I'm not doing it for the sake of who's hearing it and getting it on the radio or any of that stuff. I'm doing it as a way to document reality, and as a way to try and give thanks for the good times, and to to remind myself and other people that there is light and wisdom at the end of hard lessons. And that if we can get behind each other and support each other, then often the answers will come eventually. It's kind of comes from that kind of place. So I think that's maybe why people sort of resonate with it, because everybody can relate to it.
Yes, it's entirely relatable. And I mean, to that end, obviously, over your career to date, you've dabbled with different styles of music in order to, I suppose, to best land, your lyric and your intention. Where would you say you've kind of landed up? If you had to define road tripping, for example, how would you define your sound, I suppose, in 2023 going into 2024?
I think it's the same as it always was. It's a bit of everything. Like I don't really stick to any kind of formula. Like, I mean, road tripping to me was kind of like a country song. It
Yes.
was like a song that I wrote. I wasn't even going to release it. I wrote it 5-6 years ago on a road trip, and it was literally about that trip. And it was and my wife last year said to me, "You should record that road tripping song." And I was like, nah, it's just a personal kind of thing. And she was like, "No, you should do it." And then we were in the studio one day, and I bashed it out, and the kids were in there and stuff, and it kind of ended up being kind of fun. And it is what it is. But I mean, the last song that I recorded was kind of like a High Times was like a multi-instrumentalist version of kind of a reggae tune, like where I played everything, and I built that song so that I could do it all live. And I got some more stuff coming out. It's like one song's kind of like a dance song. Like, I don't know, man. There's no there's no really any kind of rules that I follow. I just kind of do whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
It seems
I don't really,
it
I don't really
yeah.
plan anything. I've never been someone who plans things really. I just kind of let it flow, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, it sounds to me like it's the basis for each song is a mood, I suppose.
Yeah, it is actually. I mean, it'll be sometimes it'll be like come from an emotional experience, and depending on that emotion or that mood, I'll shape the music accordingly. And or sometimes it'll be a spirit. I don't know how to explain it, but there's certain music where I feel like it's coming from another place.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think it might be my great grandmother, her spirit or something coming through me. But I can sort of define these days when that's happening, and in that sense, I'll just
Channel.
try and completely remove myself from it, and just let it be what it is. And I actually don't think too much about those things. They just sort of happen, and they shape themselves. So yeah, it really isn't something that I ever planned. But that said, I've never sat down and tried to write a song. I don't work that way. when they come, and they come when I'm doing random things, and then eventually, I used to have a dictaphone. Now I just sing it into my phone, and I'll have ideas like that, and then eventually I'll build it into something, but I don't
Mm.
plan it really.
You're a vessel, as they say.
Sometimes, man, I wish I could turn it off, to be honest.
No, it doesn't work that way. There's
Nah,
yeah, there is no contract for that. But
nah. See, all my kids and my wife, they get the shits with me because they're like, a lot of the time they're talking to me, and I'll be like, completely miss what they said because I'm thinking of something else in my head. I got some song in my head, so I feel kind of like a little bit autistic or something, which is probably difficult for people who are living with me.
so let's move on to what you intend bringing to South Africa. As you say, it's been nearly a decade. There's a raft of work that has happened between now and then, and obviously your experience when you were here last, I think, will be I wouldn't say vastly different, but over that time, your fan base here has grown to love you more and more. Um, is there an element of kind of curiosity or excitement as to what you're going to experience this time around?
Yeah, I'm excited to come. I mean, it's one of those places that if you get there once or twice in your career, then wow, because it's out of the way. It's logistically difficult to get to,
Yeah.
and this is the third time now that I'm coming. Um, I I don't see it as your standard like touring circuit. It's very
A
special. Like,
destination. Yeah.
yeah, it's a very special, powerful place. I'm in awe of the history of the cultures of the time and the um and the place that it is now. I learned a lot of that through traveling with Tio and Andale, who I made a record with,
Mm.
and um, and so I feel like South African culture kind of, if you've been exposed to it, sort of gets into your bones a bit. So for me, I feel very, it's like going to a sacred place here in Australia. It's the same kind of
Mm.
thing.
Mm.
There's an anticipation. So from a spiritual point of view,
Mm.
I will make sure I'm clean and ready and pure, and I'll
Mm.
deliver the best thing that I can possibly deliver in terms of honoring my ancestors here and that spiritual
Mm.
connection. And from a social and I guess show point of view, yeah, I'm excited to see people again, and to the tickets are selling really well, and it feels like people are excited to see the show. So I'm just pumped to come over there and share.
Mm. And you're playing in some extraordinary places. I mean, Kirstenbosch is just one of the most special venues to perform at. And I
Yeah, it's
think,
magic. Yeah,
yeah, so I think it's well suited to what you do. But
yeah,
no, yeah, we look forward to it. And I think, clearly with the number of live albums that you have released, so far, is that your music really does come to life in a live space. So I think the fans here are looking forward to, as you said, the positive, the positive energy and the yeah, just the um, all that you bring. So
yeah. I
and
mean, I'm a live artist. I always was.
mm,
The recording side of what I do is secondary, really, I guess. And so, I feel like the live forum is kind of um, where uh, you get the full experience. Because for me, the shows feel like more like a ceremony. Like it doesn't feel like me entertaining everyone. It feels like, okay, I'm channeling the sound, but everyone's involved.
yeah.
So everyone's bringing their experience, their culture, their struggles, their, the different things that they want to let go of, and there's a real sense of an energy, like a circular kind of energy
Yeah.
of respect and one people. And I have great people come to my shows all around the world,
Mm.
like really good humans, and
Mm.
and in a lot of ways they create the vibe, so I'm
Yeah.
just kind of there as part of it, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and I think it's so needed, certainly at this time in history. And I think more and more. So I think yes, it's a heady responsibility. Although, as you say, it's a collaboration more than a performance. But yeah, we look forward to it, and I thank you, and wish you a good festive season in between with families and friends and all of that good stuff. Um, and yeah, hopefully I get to shake your hand come February. But thank you for your
Yeah,
time today.
come say hi. Where are you going to be? What
I'll be in
city?
Cape Town. I'll be in Cape Town,
Okay,
literally.
sweet.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, yeah, come say hi. It'd be nice to say hi.
Likewise. Yeah. Thank you, Xavier.
All right.
Have a good
Good,
Christmas.
good on you, brother. Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you. Cheers.
See ya.
Thanks, Anel. Cheers.